Hey guys, look, today I want to talk about these, like the Nancy Guthrie case, as well as all the mirroring that's going on. I had a previous video about Nancy Guthrie, and it was something about seeing that fella's picture of her son-in-law. I felt like I'd been smacked in the face, and it's a synchronicity. But hopefully she wasn't smacked in the face, but it may have been that she felt that way having seen who it was, like someone she knew. But I was seeing something further, and it took me a while to really, you know, buckle down and be able to bring this up, because I was seeing just it was a mirror to what happened in my life because I was, abducted from it would be my father's side of the family, uh, my real father, um, as well as, and this is regarding her case, okay? In order to get this stopped, number one, you do not pay the ransom, okay? I'm going to get to everything and unpack it. Just give me time to get there. Let me say what I need to say regarding this, because you would need to cut the head off the snake that's causing all this to happen. There was another case that happened that also mirrors this and others. Okay, Nancy Guthrie's disappearance echoes 2003 Walworth County abduction, which is apparently in Wisconsin. You see that? The glare. There we go. All right, you see that? I don't know if it's backwards or not when you get it. But I will post it. I'll post it in the community, but I'll also post it in this video. But if you're seeing this on TikTok, you need to go to YouTube, Expect the Unexpected. And it begins with an X. There's no E on the front of it, or the beginning of it. I did it that way because there's so much that comes up when you put in Expect the Unexpected. So that should help you to find it. But see, that's a mirror. And they found her. Okay? That was some time ago. So she's, passed since then. But she did not pass because of what happened. So in order to do this and do this right, number one, you do not concede. I've dealt with people like this, that I've been kidnapped, abducted over and over and over and over again. And these people, they send someone in that they program, and they program people by, like the shit they were doing to me. I'm still wearing the glasses. The shit that they were doing to me, which is to poison, use rohypnol, roofie, drugs, whatever. They got to have you somewhere where they have someone that's got access to you, access to your things, have you live in the same home with them, blah, blah, blah. That way they're able to do this. Plus, if you have any like food deliveries like that, that's all over the place now. They're going to do that because, they did something to me again. Poisoned me, used their electromagnetic weapon, which Nikola Tesla invented these things, and wicked, evil people got a hold of it, which was a concern of his, okay? But if they can get metals into your body and have it cross the blood-brain barrier, that's what they use the electromagnetic weapon for, to cook the brain. They also use trauma to, make you, if you go through traumas, you're not going to remember, okay? That's why you have to go through a bit in order to really remember it and to, really be sure, okay? So that comes out, in a clear and concise manner, because I've been through a lot, so I have a tendency to say things in sarcasm, and say like the opposite. That's why I said you have to have intuition with my videos, and because sometimes I talk backwards, which, I can be just sarcastic, and for me, other people that don't know me aren't going to know that I'm being sarcastic, okay? So yeah, you have to use intuition, because I do talk sarcastically, so I'm trying to do this without being, sarcastic. But this mirrors everything of what I've been through and that others have been through. And we have you know, a couple that are the head of the cabal, and that being my biological mother, who I don't know. I don't have a relationship with her, whatever. It doesn't make sense to me to have anyone try to talk me into moving with her. Why would I do that? I don't know the bitch. And she is, yeah, she is every nasty word that's out there, okay? A pedophile. My Uncle Creepy, who is not my dad, is the same thing. You know, just sick, twisted, pedophile, evil. These are the head of this, you know, Freemason, Eastern Star, cult, cabal. I mean, you can say whatever you want to, but I know. Okay? I'm seeing the same things. I've been through this over and over and over again because they keep doing it to me. They will program someone and send them in after me while they've, you know, to make it like a boyfriend situation, to catfish me. And I'm being poisoned, drugged, whatever the fuck it is that they all use, but they definitely use poison. They definitely use some type of drugs, because I know when I got taken to Florida that I was already poisoned, you know, pretty badly by the time I ended up talking to that one. But when he did take me to Florida, I couldn't wake up on the drive there and everything, because he gave me, I believe it was ketamine or something. I just could not wake up. But they send someone in to kill me even if they don't know that's what they're doing. You know, they're going to lie to everyone that they deal with, okay? And they're desperate for money. So, I mean, in the first place, if you were to pay a ransom, do you realize that you're then paying them to keep doing what they did? You're rewarding them for kidnapping, abducting someone. Why would you want to do that? You don't. You got to really think about this. If you're doing anything that's catering to what they want, you need to do the exact opposite of what they want. And pray and speak intention, literally in the universe, you know, what it is you want, but you've got to get out of your head. Look, I have a playlist, you know, like all of these, and I have it in the community post of expecting unexpected. But I don't even know this person, okay? But there's a reason that I choose this particular one, because, and he has other ones, but he does all the little chakras too. So, like, you get the main chakra and all the little ones as well, so that you get all the chakras cleansed, okay? You need your chakras healed and cleansed so you can manifest what it is that you're wanting to manifest, okay? These people they've done this to me, and I'm going to explain, let me unpack, I'm going to explain this. They've done this to me, and I'm pointing it out so that you can see in your life how it may be done to you. They find someone with talent, and they make their life hell. They poison and drug them. They force them into a relationship they don't want, okay? Anything opposite of what they want. Because, you know, Satan comes as an angel of light, okay? So, because you're in a world that's inverted, all right? So you have to be able to look beyond judging a book. You've really got to see beyond things. But who do you think put that out there? And, you know, for someone to have a lower entity attachment, they're having something to do with someone that has had some kind of sexual relations with one of these two heads. Really three heads, because there's Lucifer. Lucifer has slept with his parents. And the head of this cabal, and there's two of them, has the HIV/AIDS and has given it to everyone else, and is, of course, you know, they always look for a fall guy, so they got to have someone to, you know, blame it off on, so that you or them or whoever it is that they're saying this to, will attack the person that they say has it, had it, whatever. I mean, he was acting completely strange when he wanted so bad to take me to the doctor. But he did nothing to fix my dislocated feet or anything else, or, so it was just all bullshit. He was hoping that I had, HIV or AIDS. I don't have that. I mean, he sat there and bebopped his way into when, the doctor was talking to me or going to talk to me and tell me what he found, da da da. And what he found was a problem with my blood. I just didn't have really any red blood cells to speak of, except for very few. And I had some that were like ghost red blood cells because I was literally dying. They were poisoning the hell out of me, and that's the proof, That was the only doctor I've been to in years and years and years. I did go to the hospital once when I was in Florida, and they said I had all these problems with my lungs. Well, how'd that happen? Okay? It's not from smoking, it's from the poisons that they're putting in whatever they can. Whether it's, and I haven't smoked since the end of October, maybe the first day of November. Okay? They put poisons in food, drink, whatever. It doesn't matter. And when they send someone in, they also do it to them. They send someone in to do this action, do that action. They got to make sure that they've got total control of them. And the people that are going through this don't really realize it. They do this to everyone. They're not going to put people in powers of position unless they do what they say. Did you get it? The world's inverted. So the wrong ones have been in control. There's Freemason lodges all over the place. These people are connected. And they're desperate for money. And I mean, they spend money like crazy. They don't know how to spend money wisely at all. So it's just like, they've got to get a hold of lots and lots of money. So you definitely do not pay the ransom. It's rewarding them for evil. Why would you do that? You see how they get money? They get money in multiple ways. They siphon off of someone that has talent. They literally take the talent from them. That's how, Lucifer, White Rapper Boy, has been able to, be famous, but it's a fake famous. There's like over 1,000 that have been siphoning off of me to be famous, to do this, that, the other, if not more. It's a lot of them. They siphon energy, life force, adrenaline, everything that they can. And it all has to do mainly with that sacral chakra. But they attack all the chakras. They want people to take Tylenol, ibuprofen, which makes your stomach bleed. See, I can't take that. They don't want people to have plants because they're healing. God gave us rules, but not with the intention for politicians to give us more rules. That's not right. Now, the Bible contradicts itself. It has been plagiarized, okay? I mean, when the Geneva Bible was written by John Knox, who had control of John Knox without his knowledge? Mary, Queen of Scots, had a half-brother named James, okay? And he was involved with John Knox. So, I mean, this stuff's been going on for a long time, many, many lifetimes. We repeat all these cycles until we heal what it is we need to heal so we're not repeating it. Let's stop all this from happening. This stuff, in order to get it to stop, you go after the top ones that are putting this out to happen. They put their themselves on other people by sleeping around. Okay, they have like a sex cult where they sleep with lots of people. Like I don't know if it's all it seems like they have like the sex party thing like they do, like the what do they call that? The freak off shit. Where they're sleeping with a bunch of people at one time, but they have people that go off to be with a boyfriend or girlfriend, or plus they siphon off of kids, y'all. They do really sick, disgusting things, okay? These people that they send in, like, yeah, oh, let me explain this too. Rasputin that I've been talking about, I say that because that's exactly what he looks like. But, he's of course changed how he looks. Um, it's weird. They're like trying to hide themselves. And when I say, he died, well, there's parts of him that died, okay? The chakras and the brain, everything that they're attacking. And so to take him over. And he's not aware because they're trying to lure me over across the street. They have the light on all the time. They have my child over there that they have kidnapped, okay? And they do this to people. They twist them upside down, okay? I mean, I've sat here and said things that, you know, wasn't what I meant. There's times where that has happened, but it's because of the attacks, the poison, the whatever all it is that they're putting in my food, my drink, or whatever. Um, that's how they do this. They turn people upside down from what they would be. Okay? They make sure that the people that they work through were molested as children. They have information on people's families, but they don't know everything. Okay? But you're not going to have something mirror something over and over and over in different places of the country unless it is a cult, a cabal, a coven that is doing all of this. I have people that copycat me. I said something about slapping the face. When I saw that photo in the first video I did having to do with Nancy Guthrie. And then it shows up that Hamster Hairpiece Rumty says it now. What? They copy me. That's not flattery. They're doing that to copy the energy to siphon it off. You realize that? So you want to keep an eye on that kind of shit. These people that are copying somebody, they're definitely doing, or some part of this freak off thing that they do, sex, swinger, whatever. They're all, vipers in a pit, sleeping with each other. But in order to steal the talent, they have to be sleeping with one of these people, if not many of these people. But it comes from one of them that they send in. If you're someone that, don't do that, because, I don't do that shit. I never would. That's disgusting. And that's how they get diseases. But they send one in as like a boyfriend. But I was 7 years old praying I didn't want anyone to touch me and I didn't want to get married. There's a reason I was praying that. So, of course, they're about, trying to spin that around backwards. But it's a mirror of what I've been through. Okay. The Manson thing, okay, that's a false narrative. But if you take that story, and it's been, done over and over, there's mirrors to it. But who is it that Manson and his, quote, family were accused, of murdering? Yeah, I don't have food. So I'm having, some issues because of that. I'm burping and stuff. But, that's their other thing, is to starve me. They think that's going to make me go over there across the street. No, because their plan is to kill me and cut my organs out of me and all this kind of shit. They want to sell me off, and Rasputin doesn't realize they're going to kill him. They're just using him as a lure, but it's not working. These people don't grasp what is really going on. Lucifer, White Rapper Boy, is right across the street. I know he is, and so is Rasputin. When I said dead, because there's a dead smell next door, a dead body smell. But their little, game or whatever they're doing is I had a horrible dream about him dying. It was in a horrific way. And it's like he thinks these people are his friends or whatever. No, they're not. What has happened to everyone that they sent in to harm me and to siphon off of me? They killed them. They killed them. It makes no fucking sense. These are not good people. They're evil. They're very fucking evil. But you need to wake up. But they send people in to siphon off them. Now, with this story with Nancy Guthrie, they're siphoning off everyone that's into this story. Anything in the negative, they're taking that. They get energy and money and everything off of it. When it comes to this case, you want to speak positive, and telling the truth is positive, y'all. Even if it's ugly, even if it's an ugly truth, it's positive, okay? Because the truth will blow your mind. It literally is a force of nature, okay? Because these wicked dark ones that come as angels of light, they pretend to be something of light, but they're not. I don't listen to White Rapper Boy's music, but something tells me, because I've seen it came across the screen. It was something where he's dressed up wearing the ski mask. I don't know what movie that is, but I understand that name to be Ace and J, which oddly enough, that's the name that I knew Little White Rapper Boy when he was a kid growing up. Okay? And this is someone that does disguises. Okay? So he's been doing them since he was 14, that I know of. He was playing around with latex, making masks and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what he does. But they make money off of everything. They're the ones running this matrix. And if everyone, okay, in the Bible it says something about, and you have to use your heart for truth, okay? Not just read it, because if you're in the left brain, you're not going to see everything you need to see that you would if you were in, left and right brain and had hemisync between the hemispheres of the brain. And you need your brain connected to your heart and all your other chakras, or you're not going to see what you need to see. That was the whole point of them programming everyone and telling everyone what to do. Well, you have to go to school. Well, you have to this. You don't get a job unless this. But it should be on your merit and what you're able to do, your actual talent, okay? Not stolen talent. They have so many people like lip syncing and fake acting, so on and so forth, but they're getting that off of, they call it loose or something like that, but it's that adrenaline, that energy. What is the money chakra? The money making chakra, okay? That's why they're addicted to adrenochrome. To sit there and talk about it. It's in the movies. They sit there and come around and talk about it, and then if you sit there and say something about the movies, oh, that's just a movie. It's time to wake up, people. Who's been running everything? If the airways are owned by Satan, do you kind of grasp what's going on now? I mean, why does the Bible contradict itself? Thou shalt not kill, but there's all this raping and murdering going on, and in the Bible, I mean, it's time to wake up and see things for what it is. And society, you hear people say, well, society's good. You need to have your kids, in school, and then you get on with other kids. Well, that's where they gang stalk and program. No, it's not a good thing. Society's not a good thing. That's the problem, is we have too many people that are going along with what everyone else says instead of standing up against it and speaking the truth. Okay? See, a long time ago, Plato had said, he who is most hated is he who is honest. Well, that's only in an inverted world. It's time to flip the tables and make things right. Not keep everything backwards and sticking our head in the sand, because people have fear. They have fear of Satan. They have fear of the New World Order. You've already been living in it. You just don't realize it. And you wake up and see this, then you see it. You cannot pay a ransom in this. You just can't, in any case, really. You're giving them a reward for the evil they do. Why would you do that? Then they've got money to do more and do more of that. They're just going to keep doing it on and on and on until you take care of the head of the whole thing. because they're controlling everyone else. You know, they're forcing people to do things they don't want, but they think they actually want it because they've put that themselves, the lower entities at the top, to, have sex with this person, that person that's had sex with them, and so on and so forth. It's disgusting. But it's a sex, rape, murder, pedophile, cult, Freemasons, Eastern Stars, the cabal, the whole thing, you know. But it's, you have to see the whole fucking thing as it really is. You just have to. They're going around telling people what to do, but it's not working out so well when they don't have money. They need money. That's their God. But money's just a tool, y'all. It's just a tool. But yeah, they think if they're going to starve me and keep me from having everything, that they're going to make me do what they want. But I know what they want. I know what they're doing, and I refuse to do it. And not only that, I mean, I know they would, that's their goal, is to kill me and to kill, even, Rasputin doesn't seem to wake up to it yet, but that's their goal, is to kill him once they've got me in their snare. You don't want to be building things to trap people in, because they can use that to trap people. You think that you're one of their friends and one of their buddies, but they don't have friends. They don't have buddies. They devour everything. No one has any meaning to them. No one. They drug, poison, roofie, use electromagnetic weapons on everyone that they're puppeting, that they're pulling the strings on, pulling the trauma strings. So, something is said that triggers you. Instead of getting mad and upset, look at, why is it triggering you? Because these people did that to, cause that to happen. I mean, these people want people in reactive abuse mode, so that you, me, this person, that person look like they're crazy, but they're not. I've not had any mental issues. It's these people that have mental issues, but because they have that, they're in attacking people to make it look like it's them, to take the heat off of them. That's what they do. It's, it is said that there is nothing new under the sun, because these people, everything's been cycling around over and over and over again. I sit here and talk with my hands, y'all, and they've copied it. They've copied it because they think that brings them some kind of energy or something. It's just called talking with my hands, There's no meaning behind it. But these people, they copy everything, and it's because it's about taking that energy that they're attempting to take on, which they have in the past when they're doing all these poisonings and all this stuff. I mean, I was bleeding in my stomach, y'all, pretty bad. I mean, I should have the right to be able to go drive and be able to pick up food. I don't have a vehicle. And I was sitting here really thinking about, when was the last time I had my own vehicle? That was like 2002, 3, 4, somewhere around there. But anytime I had a vehicle, he damaged it. He damaged it so that I would be constantly, on the side of the road and having issues everywhere. That's what they do, Yeah, my mother was out to get me to be crashed in a car, like in the tunnels that we have here. There's tunnels that go underneath the water to drive from one place to another. These people are sick. But yeah, if you want to know who has the HIV/AIDS, it's Samael, Lilith, and Lucifer, and that's who's spreading it around. My biological mother, who she's not my mother according to me, you know what I mean? My Uncle Creepy and their kid together, okay, who's a product of incest. They're brother and sister. Oh, and I was getting to that. Manson, who they're accused of killing, well, Manson's not Manson. It's actually my creepy uncle and my biological mother. Do you realize who my biological mother is? Think of Ozzy and the name he, used to shout out all the time. Ozzy Osbourne. He would shout out his wife's name. So think of that name. Who is it that Manson's accused of killing? Well, his people, whatever. She's not dead. Well, as far as I know, she's not. But she didn't die back then. That was a big ruse. And she didn't have a baby boy. I was abducted and sold by my mother, abducted from my real dad, and sold to the fake dad, who's my Uncle Creepy. They did a fake birth certificate and shit like that on me. It's not even my birthday. I'm that baby. Yeah. So it's a big lie. And if you look at the Nicole Brown Simpson and O.J. Simpson thing, that was a repeat of, the Manson thing. But that's not Manson. My Uncle Creepy is the real Manson and the real Epstein. They have a false narrative for everything so that people have a hard time believing it and seeing it because they've been watching on TV. You tell someone enough lies too much, they believe it because that's all they've been watching. That's the problem in watching TV all the time. If you don't disconnect and get out in nature, you'll have trouble seeing what you need to see. You need to make sure that you're working on healing your chakras. It's not a joke, y'all. I'm telling you, I didn't know what the hell a chakra was. I had to research and find out about it and what each chakra is responsible for. And there's an immortal chakra. It's outside of the body, but you've got to heal the inner chakras. You have to get to a certain point of, I don't know how to say it, that your heart is light as a feather, that you're not weighed down by this heaviness. That's what Satan, Saturn, Samael is about. Okay? Saturn's about a cube. You take the cube and unfold it, it's a cross. But they program people and they have ways to do it. And this is how they're doing it. And it's literally a mirror. I mean, I was having a hard time with this whole thing that they're doing with, Nancy Guthrie and this abduction thing, because I'm like, this is just too much. It's too real. It's just like what happened to me, but it's happened to me over and over and over. We had a little vacation, which, wasn't a vacation, but I went with the fake family for a vacation back in 1991 to California. And they tried, 15 minutes of us being there, there were two fellows that were trying to, you can tell they had bad intentions, and I was the one they wanted to do their bad intentions on. They wanted to, kidnap me and take me off to their, sex cult or sex slave or whatever it was that they wanted to do. It was something bad. But, I was like kind of prepared to hurt them as soon as they walked up. Because, it's self-defense. But I went up and pulled the sleeve of the asshole known as Uncle Creepy. I'm like, why are you walking way ahead of us? There's some bad people back there. Well, as soon as I did that, they, stopped what they were doing and like, oh, we can't do this. There's too many people around. Da 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 da. Could literally hear it. Could literally hear what they were saying. But this is all like staged up because it's supposed to get me in fear. Instead, it got me to where I'm like ready to, do whatever I had to do. There's a difference in this, y'all. They have a hard time dealing with someone that's like that, but in order to get someone down in fear, they attack and they do it, very sleuthily. They hide it. They have all these things going on to hide that they're doing this stuff. and they're into doing whatever they got to do to force what they want. I mean, why do you think he wants me in his house? Which it's not his house. My money bought it. My grandparents willed me everything, and they all stole it. His own kids stole it from him. They murdered my grandparents. You know, and the thing was, is my grandparents, they were kind of like who I felt like were my, parents in a way. And I didn't even get to be that close to them. But I just felt close to them. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it really. But, this is the truth. And I can't not see it and I can't unsee it. It's literally a mirror of what I've been going through throughout my lifetime. And these people, it's the other thing that they do is they set up cameras, hidden cameras, like in the shower, in the bedroom, anything to get you while you're undressing. You're in your own privacy. Or they roofie you and get you to do things you don't even know that's kind of, you're not really totally aware of what's going on, or your brain's so melted to get you to take pictures or something like that, or they take the pictures, whatever it is, and then they want to put it out there and put AI, get someone else to act this out, and they, put this person's picture on it or face on it. They do these things so that they can, siphon money off. It takes energy from that person. No one has any right whatsoever to use my face, my photo, my any damn thing for anything, to make money or to put me on some kind of like dating website. I'm not on any dating websites. Or to use in any way to make money. That's illegal because it would be, one, belonging to me. Two, I would never put anything out there like that. You know, whatever disgustingness that they're doing. It belongs to me. I own it. Okay? My face, my whole person is belonging to me, not to someone else to do what they want to. I am not married. No one has the right to go and say, well, I'm her husband, and they have fake credentials or whatever. I mean, and furthermore, how do they have the right to demand an ID, their driver's license to drive? I can drive. I know how to drive. But see, that's what they do to the human trafficked. They make sure they don't have a way to get an ID, to get a car, to get anything, because they're siphoning all the money off of them, to get food, to get toiletries, clothing, anything they need. You probably see me wear things, a lot. Yeah, I've got to wash it a lot, and it falls apart. It only lasts so long. And yeah, I need things, but these people have been stealing everything. My birthright. Anyone wills anything to me, they keep stealing it all from me. And they've got this character, Rasputin, thinking that I'm his meal ticket or something like that. No, I'm not. I'm not interested in you. Get yourself healed. I don't get it. Get yourself healed. I can't understand people doing horrible things and laughing about it, hurting people and laughing about it and thinking it's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's not funny for someone to starve, though they may live through it, but it's horrific pain to walk around with dislocated feet, with a broken back, with a floating vertebrae and herniated tailbone. I mean, everything's messed up from the top down to the bottom. They did a closed head decapitation to me in Florida, in we'll say Cloud of Saints, Central Florida, where they lied, told the police, whatever it was they told the police, and they attacked me to cause that. They kicked me. I was 99 pounds, y'all, and dying with all the blood problems from all the poisoning. So they kicked the shit out of me, attacked me, the little SWAT team or whatever, and slammed my head down on the sliding glass door, that railing, They did that, slammed my head down on it, and that's what caused the closed head decapitation. That was it. It was just kind of out. And they dragged me. They started off with, they shot me in the unprotected part of my heart, where the ribs aren't covering it. They shot me in the heart with a taser and a sand bullet. The detective said, "No, we didn't shoot you with a sand bullet." Yes, you did. Yes, you fucking did. Uh, I've got, proof of the evidence and everything. And they still lied about it. 99 pounds. Starving. Do you know how tall I am? I'm not sure. I mean, I was like 5'10", but I may be, somewhere around 5'9", 5'10". I'm not short. I'm somewhere right now, like 99 pounds, if that. I don't know. Maybe a little bit over 100 or something, but somewhere in between there. You know, quite some time ago, I was like 145 pounds. At one time, 165 pounds. Because I was working out. You can't work out, and well, not the way I work out, with dislocated feet. I've got a drop foot too. You know, people saying something like, "Well, you need to go and exercise, or you need to go that." How? I mean, I get enough exercise as it is in here, and I've got people doing everything they can to steal my energy off of me. I say these things because this happens to other people. That doesn't mean someone's lazy. Someone's disabled, they're disabled. Until they can get the help they need to get able. I'm not someone that just, I don't know how to put it. I'm not someone that wants to go through this. I like to get healed and move on with my life. Rasputin crushed my hand, dislocated, splintered it. The wrist just, and I drew. I did art. I would draw and paint if I actually had paint. They've stolen that from me. I mean, it's just on and on and on. Anything to keep me, and he literally laughed about it too, about my feet. He said something about being hobbled, hobble a girl so she can't get away. I mean, what? And my feet have been this way for it's about 4 years now. How would you like this to be you? If this stuff doesn't end, it's coming for everyone. They've been doing this to a lot of people. If a woman is abused, domestic violence, and people say, "Well, how come she doesn't leave him?" But yet I've done that. But no one helps her. If she's got kids, no one helps her. Well, the government sure don't. Don't you see the problem in it? This is all about siphoning and taking. Why is this world so barbaric to women and children? They're also barbaric to men too. But why? Look, people that are homosexual were often molested as children by the same sex. That's a healing they need to go through. Instead of you have like people that are religious going around pointing their finger, that's not going to change anything. You start with yourself and you heal yourself. Okay? The chakras are very important to heal them and be purified of these things that other people do to make people fall, to make people stumble. Okay? These people that are doing what they're doing, abducting people, being involved in it, they're being programmed and controlled. Like I said, I said 2 heads, but there's really 3. Why is it all over, TV screens or video screens, and they're doing the horns with the hand? Because they're talking about them. Lucifer, Satan, Saturn, which is Moloch, and the Baphomet, which is Lilith, and remember, she wants to be at the top. The Baphomet is about a woman, okay? But that's in the masculine energy. That's why it has breasts and wide hips, but a penis. That's what that's about. It's a woman that's in the full masculine and has no feminine part. It's being imbalanced within oneself. And Aries, in the reverse, is an unbalanced Aries, and they're a massive bully. Okay, that's pretty much anyone and everyone. If their zodiac or whatever it is they are is in the reverse, they're a bully. You know? So if people really want, to change the world, it starts with these people that are running this, the Eastern Stars and the Freemason, the Illuminati. And I'm sitting here talking right up and saying who it is. And it's about time people wake up and realize it. If people have AIDS or HIV, well, you know where it's coming from. It's coming from them three. White rapper boy, his parents, and whom all that they're going around sleeping with. What is the health department doing about this? What are they doing about it? They're allowing it to keep continuing so they can keep giving it to other people. You can work on healing if you follow these guidelines and do these things. You'll start waking up and realizing what you need to do to heal. But if you literally set your mind and intention to heal and you keep saying positive words, you will heal. There is a way to do this, okay? But there are those that have given their themselves over to, pure unadulterated Satanism, being Lilith, Lucifer, and Samael, my biological mother and Uncle Creepy and their brat. And maybe some more in that family. Like I said, I don't know her. I knew her maybe a couple of times, like ran into her a couple of times when I was younger, and that was it, I wouldn't cross the street to talk to her. Hell no. But when they're buying all these things, they've got vehicles in my name, homes in my name. What the fuck? That doesn't belong to them. I'm not married. I only got married one time in my life, and that was on my damn birthday, without knowing it was my birthday, August 8th, 2008. That was the only time I've been married. The last time I would ever get married, and I didn't want to get married. They literally told me, the government told me that in order to get my son back, I had to get married. Do you see what they were doing? And so they could steal. That's what it's all about. Yeah, that's why I will never get married. Ever. Why do they have these laws that if you get married, your inheritance goes to, your husband's? You see what they're doing now? This is what they do all over the world. They will abduct someone, especially if it's a high-profile case, so they can make shit tons of money off of it. If Satan owns the airwaves and owns, like, the media, places, he's making all kind of money. Start looking at things differently and you really see it. But that's who's running all this. That's who's doing these abductions. I've been through it over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's time for people to wake up and really see what's going on. I mean, I know I'd love to find my real dad, but she's a monster. Who knows? But it's not right or fair for people to be abducted from their families. But people need to start waking up to the truth and who it really is, the ones that are doing this, where it comes from. You have to, if you can't see things forward, backward, inverted, uninverted, you got to look at everything every different way so that you can really see it. But you do have to detach from watching the news all the time, or just watching TV all the time, or even have to detach from schooling and church and all these group things that they do. It's when you're by yourself, and how else are you going to hear the still, quiet, small voice and learn to tune into it unless you are by yourself? That is the church. So there you have it, folks. That's where this is coming from. That's who's making all these things happen. They're desperate for money. I mean, these people. I had a small amount of money in like the crypto or whatever. It was actually in the USD, but I had to move it in the crypto in order to get it out. And when I did that, they stole money from me. They zapped it right out. I mean, I'm waiting for it to move from one place to another. Before it even gets there, it's zapped out. How do you explain that? And they stole from my Cash App. They keep doing this. They are desperate for money. How come they don't go and work and make their own money? You know, the very system that they put us all in, this rat race system. That, oh, well, this is what you have to do, because that's more about them taking money from people. People, you can earn money. Even if you're law enforcement, you can earn money for doing the job instead of this salary and da-da-da-da-da. They're doing a whole lot more with these taxes than you know what they're doing. They're doing a whole lot more. And people know that there's a shadow government running everything else because they get dirt on people. They drug people. They force people onto their medications because it's also about putting their soul to sleep. Why do the Illuminati hate cannabis so much? Because it's healing and they can't make shit tons of money off of it, or, what reason? Do you know that it takes literally, to be harmed on cannabis, marijuana, you would need 22,000 pounds of marijuana to ingest it, consume it, in less than 15 minutes, which is impossible. No one can do it. It makes no sense. It's time to wake up and stop looking at things. I mean, the government doesn't have the right to tell people what to do. They're not keeping anyone safe. It's about harm and making money. That's just the truth of it. People can make money. Everyone needs to stop looking at everything in a lack mindset, which is what Satan has been about putting everyone in. I can sit here and show people exactly how to do this. I would much rather do that than people all siphoning off of me and ruining my life and setting me up and trying to put me in jail or prison when I didn't do anything wrong. These people are poisoning me and doing it by having me in their home or having me at someone else's home. Well, I say in their home, in my own home that they bought with my money, that they stole from me. That's what's going on. Your lives are at risk allowing these people to keep doing what they're doing. But as far as Nancy Guthrie, what's going to, change everything? You don't pay that ransom. You're paying evil to keep doing evil. That doesn't mean that something bad's going to happen to her, because I firmly believe that she is alive. But for her to be returned back to you, man, these people have got to be taken down. No more cults and covens. You have a bunch of these people are like in fear and in lack. And until they come down, that's when things change. That's when things change, y'all. Because we can't have this anymore. This stuff, it ends now. It ends. No more. All right, guys. I love y'all. Take care. God bless.